Renewed hope. Hi again, everyone. I'm James Rapien with allbengals.com and Cincinnati Bengals talk on a Monday where the Bengals, coming off of the bye week, have as many wins as the rest of their AFC North rivals in Week 10. The Ravens go down against the Miami Dolphins. The Browns get crushed by the New England Patriots, and the Steelers finish to a draw. They tie the Detroit Lions at home. So what does it mean? Well, standings-wise, pretty clear. The Bengals in third place in the AFC North, just one game behind the Baltimore Ravens, a half game behind the Pittsburgh Steelers, and a half game ahead of the Cleveland Browns. But what does it really mean? You know, when you look at the grand scheme of things, I think it's very clear. It's realistic to think that the Bengals have a shot here to win the division. It's realistic to expect them to be in the mix throughout December and make a run here at it. And that is all I think you could have asked for coming into this season, is if you would have said after the bye week, going into the Raiders game, they're 5-4, so they have a winning record. They're a game out of first place in the division, and their playoff hopes are very much alive. I think you would have taken it. And that's what we're seeing right now from this Cincinnati Bengals team. So this is something I don't know about celebrating, but as a fan, I think it is renewed hope. And a big reason to buy into, I think, the Bengals in the second half is quarterback play. You're going to buy into Ben Roethlisberger. I get it. Mason Rudolph was in on Sunday. You buying into Ben Roethlisberger as the season trickles on? I'm not. You're buying Baker Mayfield, who was 11 of 21 for 73 yards, a touchdown and an interception, and a 45-7 loss to the New England Patriots. I'm not. I'm selling all of that stock, and I get it. The Browns beat the Bengals in Week 9. Did you see that game? Did Baker Mayfield do anything that was outstanding? No, he's an average quarterback. He's an average starter. The Browns might make the playoffs. Hell, the Browns might turn it around and go on a playoff run. But I think that's going to have everything to do with the offensive line and the coaching staff and the pass rush and the defense that's opportunistic, all of those things. Baker Mayfield, to me, is very, very average. And the coaching staff has told you that. The Browns coaching staff, they spoon feed him. He had 21 attempts in a blowout. And I get it. He got injured at the end of the third quarter, and Case Keenum came in and threw the ball 12 times. If the Bengals are getting blown out, Joe Burrow throwing that ball 45 times, 50 times, trying to get the ball downfield. It's just not what the Browns are. A lot of that has to do with Mayfield. And so, yeah, I'm not buying that. I think the Bengals could certainly pass, and not only pass because they're ahead of the Browns in the standings, but stay ahead of the Browns in the standings. But it comes down to quarterback. And I want to talk about Joe Burrow. I want to talk about this offense because I don't know if you agree with this, but if this team, to me, is going to reach its full potential and finish in the AFC North lead, win the division, or make a playoff run, the offense is going to have to be great. And we'll talk about that in just a second. But first, a word from MyBookie. From all the biggest games to the smallest events, make every bet worth your while with MyBookie.ag. I use MyBookie.ag because it's simple and easy, and you can get free money right now. You go to MyBookie.ag, make that first deposit, use promo code BengalsTalk. You're going to get a double deposit. They double your deposit instantly, that first deposit. So if you want to put down $100, boom, $200. Your $300 becomes $600. All you have to do is use the promo code BengalsTalk. So whether you want to bet on the Bengals to win the AFC North, them to make the playoffs, maybe you just think that they're going to handle business in Las Vegas on Sunday, you can do all of that and so much more with MyBookie.ag. Don't wait any longer. Get in on the action right now. There's 8 games to go. A lot of game to be played, a lot of money to be made with MyBookie.ag. Again, use promo code BengalsTalk to get a double deposit on your first deposit. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. And look, Joe Burrow has to be great in the second half of the season if the Bengals are going to do what so many people hope they're going to do. And I think they're capable of doing. I just look around the division. I don't see special. I think Lamar Jackson's really good. I don't think he's, on a great team. I think he's playing awesome, but bad offensive line. Defense is more questionable than it's been in the past. Offensive line, like I said, struggling. Running backs, Le'Veon Bell wears number 17, not doing much. Devonta Freeman, that's who you're banking on. There's just not as many threats. I like Rashad Bateman. I think Hollywood Brown's a good deep threat. Do the Ravens scare you? Yeah, Lamar scares you. Outside of that, Not really. And in the past, it's been all of these different things in different scenarios. So I'm not saying that the Bengals are going to sweep the division and win 12 games and just go on this crazy run in the second half, but I'm saying it's there for the taking. And coming into the year, if you would have said that, I think a lot of people would have taken it. And I'm not banking on the defense to turn it around and be the defense we saw in the first 7 weeks of the season. I'm not banking on this offensive line to suddenly be prolific and then pound the rock running the ball. I think it's going to come down to Joe Burrow. How well does he play over the next 8 games? And now there's a lot that goes into that. Does the offensive line hold up? Can these receivers stay healthy, and can they put them in a position to succeed? I'm going to get to Tyler Boyd in a second. Can this coaching staff maximize the talent on this roster? Will Chris Evans and Joe Mixon be the two-headed monster that I think they can be down the stretch in the second half? There's a lot of questions. And that first one is getting Burrow into a rhythm, which I think Boyd is the key to doing that, starting on Sunday in Las Vegas. If you can get Tyler Boyd the rock early, get some third down conversions, some second down, if it's 2nd and 7, 11 to Tyler Boyd, continues the drive, maybe a little more tempo, just getting that rhythm is so key. And the Bengals were able to establish that against the Browns. Obviously, they had some self-inflicted mistakes, and that's the other thing. It's not like Baker Mayfield was moving the ball up and down the field for the Browns, and they just had a couple turnovers, self-inflicted mistakes, and looked up and they were down 28-7. They just got beat. And it was an ugly loss in Foxborough on Sunday for Mayfield and company. But the Bengals in Burrow, if they can get him into a rhythm, he's shown that he can be so dynamic, pushing the ball down the field, dynamic in the pocket. And no, not like a Lamar dynamic or, Kyler Murray dynamic, but his pocket presence has gotten better. And I expect it to continue to over the next 8 weeks as he gets farther and farther removed from that devastating knee injury, which we're creeping into. We're a week away, essentially, which would be Sunday, close to it, from when he suffered that injury. So hopefully we continue to see him progress the way you want him to progress. Because if he does that, he cuts down on the interceptions, we could be talking about a guy that ends up, 40-plus touchdowns and 15 picks for the year. Like, can he just throw an interception once every 2 games in the final 8? If he does that and this offense gets it in gear, 30-plus per game, that's my magical number, I think the Bengals could win this division. I do. And so when you look at it now, the renewed sense of hope and optimism, I think, should be in the air if you're a Bengals fan. And one thing I know, win, loss, draw, we're going to have you covered every step of the way. We have some more exclusive interviews coming your way this week. If you missed Elise Jesse's sit down with CJ Uzama, check it out last week. If you missed this Nicole Zembrodt, her interview, it was great. There's so many awesome interviews last week. Lindsey Patterson is bringing exclusive interviews. So it's not just me. You're not just dealing with me now with Cincinnati Bengals talk. We're expanding, and we're getting exclusive interviews you're not going to see anywhere else. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you ring the bell for when we go live. And until next time, I'm James Rapien. Thank you so much for watching right here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk.